Just like in any other Pokémon DLC, there is always an extra batch of TMs. Whether they're completely new moves or older ones that didn't make it into the base game. Johnny from Galaxy Wom here, welcome back to the universe, and in this video we're going over how to get every newly added TM in the Mega Dimension DLC. Let's jump right in. In this video, every TM location will be clearly marked with a red arrow. Any ladders or holo-elevators you need to use will be marked with a grey arrow. To make things even easier, you can place a waypoint on the locations marked with the red arrows. And if you're not finding a certain TM, be sure to check the description, take a look at Mable's research, or check out this video with all the TM locations from the base game. In this DLC there are two ways to get these TMs. Most of them can be bought in a creepy alley from a Tommy Merlin lookalike, and the rest are all obtained through side missions. The Shady little TM shop can be found in an alley close to Wild Zone 17. With Mega Shards, you can buy the following moves: Comet Sponge, Chilling Water, Sing, Acid Spray, Trailblaze, Silver Wind, Ancient Power, Psychic Fangs, Magnet Bomb, Seed Bomb, Drain Punch, Double Hit, Blaze Kick, Dual Wing Beat, Dual Chop, Storm Throw, Frost Breath, Muddy Water, First Impression, Scale Shot, Razor Wind, Scald, Icicle Spear, Vacuum Wave, Battle Dance, Solar Blade, Sky Attack, Fissure, Sheer Cold, Meteor Beam and Steel Beam. Now, before we move on to the other TMs on the list, which are earned through side missions, keep in mind that some of these quests require specific Pokémon in your party. So if you're resetting hyperspace zones to hunt for a certain Pokémon for a quest, keep an eye out for these as well. You don't need both Sock and Throw, but you do need all the Z-A starters. The side mission to receive TM 109 Facade can be found in the Blue sector, between Wild Zone 10 and the Rustinicate office. You can follow this path from the office, or follow me through Wild Zone 10. Before continuing, you'll need a Grablocked in your party that knows Octolock. You can find Grablocked in a 4-star hyperspace zone alongside the Pension Line, Machamp or Machoke in the preview. Or you can catch its pre-evolution Clobbopus in a 1-star fighting type zone. To evolve Clobbopus into Grablocked, make sure it has learned to move Taunt. You can level it up to level 35 or simply use a TM for Taunt. This Pokémon does not need to battle, so it does not have to be level 80 or higher. Just make sure Octolock is in its move pool. Now head to Wild Zone 10 and follow me. Talk to the person who seems to be having back pain. He'll ask you to use the move Octolock on him, since he's unable to move a single muscle. And after doing so, you'll be the big savior and you'll be rewarded with TM 109. In the Sock vs Throw side mission, you will be rewarded with both TM 113 Low Sweep and TM 129 Circle Throw. You can find this side quest at the Justice Dojo. Talk to Ivor when you see these two people standing in front of him. Before going there, make sure you've got at least one Sock or Throw. You can find them in a 3-star fighting type hyperspace zone and level the one you catch to level 80 or higher, because you will be facing the other one in battle. If you want to make things easier, you can EV train it as well. For its moveset, I recommend teaching it Bulk Up and Zen Headbutt. For the Sock vs Throw side mission to become available, make sure you've completed the side mission Goodbye Gengar, which can be found in the Blue Sector 8. But for Goodbye Gengar to unlock, you'll first need to complete Josie's training at the Justice Dojo. Now empty your party and only bring either your sock or throw along. Once you're set, start the battle with Bulk Up, then use Sam Headbutt to deal some massive damage. Now just win the battle and both Flow Sweep and Circle Throw are yours. In front of Racing Construction at a small taxi area where you had your first promotion match, you can find a side quest to receive Flame Charge. You'll see a person surrounded by several cyclists. He believes that battles are all about speed, so you just need to prove you can keep up with him. Defeat all 3 cyclists, which are above level 80, and the TM for a Flame Charge is yours. The side mission, which Meowth do you prefer, can be found in front of a staircase leading up to the building south of Wild Zone 13. First, she'll ask you to battle all 3 of her Meowth. After defeating her, she'll let you choose one of the 3 Meowth variants to play with. After that interaction, the side mission will be completed and the TM for Payday is yours. You can come back anytime if you want to play with the other Meowth as well. Before starting the Awakened Kofagrigus side mission to receive Shadow Punch, you must first complete side mission 85. The Follow Litwick side mission can be found over here. Once it's completed, or if you have already completed it, talk to the Rust Syndicate grunt in front of the smaller sewer. Enter the sewer and you'll find yourself face to face with the sleeping Kofagrigus. Now target and attack it to wake it up. You will then need to chase down the other Kofagrigus in the area to continue the quest. After chasing them down and defeating the Alpha Kofagrigus, the final one will appear over here in the sewer. Target and attack that one as well, and it will release a trapped human inside. Once you rescue him, the quest will be completed and Shadow Punch is yours. Time to get even more spookier. The requester for the side mission to receive Omnius Winds can be found in front of Wild Zone Friday the 13th. There's a rumor that something spooky happens at the cemetery at night. If certain conditions are met, the quest giver is way too scared to check out for himself, so we have to do it for him. First, bring only one Pokemon in your party. I'm going with someone who's already dead inside. Second, make sure it's nighttime. And as last, enter the cemetery through the north entrance. To get inside, say the magic words. Solitary, solo, cemeteries are sorta scary. Now you'll have to battle your way through some spooky dogs using just that one Pokemon in your party. Defeat them all and the spooky TM Omnius Wind is yours. Right under Wild Zone 8, you'll find side mission My Neighbor Tinkertuff. This little quest is, well, a bit of a torment. Both Scissor and Tinkertuff are scared of each other. So you'll need to go back and forth between them and convince them there's nothing to be afraid of. In the end, to reconcile and settle their differences, completing the side mission and rewarding you with TM 121 Torment. To get False Swipe, talk to Bushi, the person behind the berry stall, located right next to the joint Pokémon Center. He'll tell you that certain people accompanied by a single Farfetch'd have been getting ambushed at night in a specific spot. You will be asked to head down that exact alley in Rouge Sector 7 at night, with only a leak-wielding Farfetch'd on your team. Don't worry about not having a leak. As soon as the side mission starts, Bush will give you one. And if you somehow lost it, sounds like a you problem, you can always buy another one at this berry stall. Hey, who said that? You can do this mission with either a regular Farfetch'd or a Galarian one. Although going in with a Galarian Farfetch'd puts you in a disadvantage, since you're weak to flying type moves. Make sure to level up your Farfetch'd to at least level 80 or higher. EV training its HP is always welcome. Or you can catch yourself an Alpha Farfetch'd. Moves like Swords Dance, Slash and Protect will help a lot. For your fourth move, Aerial Ace or Quick Attack both work well. You'll have to fight through multiple trainers using only Farfetch'd. Swords Dance and Slash will help you clear them quickly. Just make sure to heal between battles so you don't go down. Once you defeat the third Farfetch'd, which is also an Alpha, you'll be rewarded with the move False Swipe.
Trainers, which one of these Pokémon evolves into Seviper? Okay, trainers, if you chose Arbok, you were right.
To receive Poison Fang, head over to Jones Street next to Wild Zone 8. Bring a Seviper along, which can be found in a 3-star Poison Hyperspace Zone. Seviper can appear in 3 different Poison type zones. If you see any of the Pokémon from the first, second or third row together in a preview, you might have found a zone where Seviper appears. But most of the time Seviper shows up directly in the preview. This guy probably worked for 4Kids back in the day, because he thinks his Arbok is a Seviper. You will need to show him what a real Seviper looks like. Wait, not like that. Once you've done that, the TM for Poison Fang is yours. Under Wild Zone 2, in front of Cafe Cyclone, you can find the side mission to receive Mimic. Here you will meet Mike and his partner Pokémon Mr. Rhyme. Sir, you good? Well, you do look like a Mike. You will be asked to battle his Mimic Team. Mimic Team. What a sentence. Win the battle and TM 125 Mimic is yours. To get Dream Eater, make sure you have a Musharna in your party. It doesn't need to be a high level. You can find Muna in 1-star Psychic Hyperspace zones, or Musharna in a 4-star zone. If you catch a Muna, you will need to evolve it using a Moonstone. Make sure Musharna is at least level 28, and knows both Hypnosis and Dream Eater. Now head over to the Looker Bureau, because in front of it you will find a side mission that rewards you Dream Eater. You will be asked to use Hypnosis on a Flamigo, followed by Dream Eater. Your Musharna will be scarred for life, but at least you will be rewarded with Dream Eater. To obtain Charge Beam, all you have to do is not die. Head over to Racine Construction, inside, talk to Canary, who very clearly still holds a grudge against you for defeating her in battle. You'll need to survive for 30 seconds while being attacked by Pokémon. Run, dodge roll, and keep moving as fast as you can. Survive the timer and TM 130 Charge Beam is yours. The side mission for Scorching Sands can be found right outside of Wild Zone 8. you will be asked to check something strange happening inside Wild Zone 8. Once you enter, a short cutscene will trigger and a horde of Sandygast will appear. All you have to do is defeat them in battle. Unlike most side mission wild battles, the Sandygast can't be caught. Once that's done, you will be rewarded with TM 136. The next side mission to receive swagger can be found to the right of Wild Zone 2. You'll be asked to do something you might never come back from. Let's just say you're helping the Squawkabilly find a new home on a farm. And hey, a little bit of overkill is always welcome. Defeat the Squawkabilly and TM 139 swagger is yours. In front of Wild Zone 15, you'll find a brother in need. You've got to help the guy out with his date. His date will ask him a few questions, and you just have to help him answer them. If you prefer to figure it out yourself, pause the video now or skip ahead to the next TM on the list. For the first question, choose the first answer. For the second question, choose a second answer. And for the final question, choose a third answer. Answer them correctly, and the TM for Fake Out is yours. The side mission for Triple Axel is on a rooftop right next to Wild Zone 12. You can easily reach it by taking this holo-elevator. If the elevator isn't unlocked yet, make sure to complete the side mission in front of it first. Talk to this person to trigger the side mission multi-strike moves. Defeat her in a Pokémon battle, and TM 144 Triple Axel is yours. The TM for Skull Bash is rewarded after winning a battle. Head over to the side mission, located on a battlefield, right next to the Vernal Pokémon Center. Now talk to this way too excited person and defeat him in a Pokémon battle. Win the battle, and TM 146 Skull Bash is yours. Use the TM good and make him proud. For this side mission, you will need to have a Porygon in your party or in your PC, because you will be trading it away. You can find Porygon in a 3-star normal hyperspace zone among some bunnies, or the entire Porygon family in a 5-star zone. In the blue sector, right next to Wild Zone 10, you'll find the side mission that rewards TM 147. You will be asked to trade your Porygon for his Porygon. After the trade, you're in for a little surprise, and TM 147 Tri-Attack is yours. Once you're past the end credits of the Mega Dimension DLC and you have visited the Syndicate office, you can receive the final TMs on the list. This side mission can be found inside Wild Zone 6. Before starting, make sure you have all 3 ZA starters at max level. These are the builds of the ZA starters I used to complete this exact mission. Don't forget to equip their Mega Stones, which you can buy at the Stone Emporium. The moves Drain Punch and Ancient Power can be obtained from the Shady Tommy Merlin lookalike shop I mentioned earlier in this video. Once you start the side mission, you will be able to choose between 3 different trials. The Trial of Water, the Trial of Grass, and the Trial of Fire. Empty your party and choose the starter Pokemon and the trial you want to start with. In each trial, you will face other starter Pokemon with high damaging moves like Frenzy Plant, Blast Burn, and Hydro Cannon. As soon as the battle starts, Mega Evolve your starter to block the first heavy hit. Once you're Mega Evolved with Ember, attack with Thunder Punch. If the target survives, finish it off with Drain Punch. Against the next target, start with Dig to dodge the incoming Hydro Cannon. Then use Power Up Punch and Drain Punch to take down Swampert. When Greninja comes in, use Dig again to avoid Hydro Cannon. Then finish it off with Thunder Punch. Once you're Mega Evolved with Feraligatr, start with Swords Dance and then attack with Ice Fang. Against the next target, use Protect to block Frenzy Plant, but time it right so Protect doesn't run out too early. Then hit it with Ice Fang again to take down Sceptile. Now use Protect again when needed and finish the remaining targets with Ice Fang and Dragon Claw. You might wanna use Swords Dance again though. Once you're Mega Evolved with Meganium, attack Charizard right away with Ancient Power. When Blaziken comes in, wait for Blast Burn, use Protect, and then hit it with Earth Power. And do the same against Delphox. For every trial you complete, you'll earn one of these TMs. And there you have it, every DLC TM at your disposal. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time with more Pokémon Legends Z-A. Johnny out. See ya!